Entrepreneurial initiatives crips the growth of any country. Young minds innovating to come up with meaningful interventions, that is the basis of any business venture. And Karnataka is happy to be the place where startups are finding the right kind of environment to embark on the path to growth. The startup stories of Karnataka will showcase the remarkable journeys of startups across the state who are paving the way for sustainable innovations and economic growth. Our unwavering commitment to nurture Karnataka's vibrant startup ecosystem remains steadfast. Wishing all these startups who are our future business leaders the very best on their journey to success.
Hi, I'm Awais Ahmed. I'm the founder and CEO at Pixxel Space Technology. Pixxel is a space technology company building a constellation of the world's highest resolution hyperspectral imaging satellites that can cover the globe and provide data on a daily revisit frequency. So when we started in early 2019, it was just four of us, me, my co-founder Kshitij, and the two founding engineers in Manas and Teja. All of us were from BITS Pilani, where we moved to Bangalore to be able to get this started. Going and talking to investors was always easy because space technology is something that is very flashy and of interest to everyone. But then having to convert that interest into actual money in the bank is something that was a challenge because, one, it's a hardware company, which is risky. Second, it's a hardware company that needs to go to space, which is even riskier. And then you combine that with the fact that it was a young, inexperienced team that hadn't built and launched satellites before. It kind of conspired to make sure that most of the folks that we talked to just said, no, I think this is not something that we can invest in. But thankfully, we were able to leverage the alumni network of our universities and folks that were willing to sort of take a bet in the early stages to sort of make that happen. And I think being in Bangalore sort of helped facilitate that with a variety of ecosystem we could depend on rather than investing on everything. The other challenge on fundraising was obviously around COVID, when everything kind of came to a standstill around early 2020. Pixxel also had to cease all of its operations that happened in the facilities where we were sort of building it, because you need to go and work on a satellite in person. You can't work on it remotely. But thankfully, I think with the amount of hardware that we had built earlier, we could go at it and able to raise a few months after that. The next year saw us having about 8 people in the company working on a variety of different things, and from there we grew to about 20, and now we have close to 200 people in the company that are working across almost every technological domain that you can think of, from software to material sciences to avionics to controls. Vision number one, build a health monitor for the planet. See what's happening around the globe, see what's happening to the melting ice caps, see what's happening with the deforestation of forests, see what's happening with greenhouse gas emissions. Use all of that data to not only see and monitor the health of the planet, but also provide relevant policy directives, relevant actions that not only organizations but governments can take to hopefully make the world a better and sustainable place in the years to come. Meanwhile, in the long run, work with space agencies using the space technology expertise and capability that we have to send these probes and spacecrafts to the moon, Mars, mapping out the entire solar system to identify how and when and in what time frame humans can actually expand towards space. In terms of staying innovative at Pixxel, it becomes a necessity when you're working in the space technology domain. You can't not be innovative because you're working with technologies that are at the cutting edge, at the bleeding edge of what needs to be done. These technologies should not only work together as a system, they need to work in the harsh confines of space. They need to work in very hot, very low temperature conditions as they see the sun and not. Now, we are starting to prove to the world that you can build not only from India for India, you can build from India for the world. You can go head to head and compete with the largest behemoths in space technology or any other industry for that matter. And where Pixxel has played that part is specifically focusing on advancing Earth observation, not only in the country but for the entire world. I think a combination of the most talent dense area in the country for all kinds of high technology work, and that does not include just software engineers. It includes EV engineers, it includes people working on climate tech, it includes people working on electronics, aerospace, material science. The fact that you have one of the top universities in the country in the Indian Institute of Science, the fact that you have the government willing to support all kinds of industries, not just in software, with actual grants and sort of investments that sort of comes in, makes it the only city in the country that can sort of probably go head to head and compete with global tech hubs. There is an existing ecosystem of all the kinds of vendors and other companies you need to work with to sort of make it happen, in terms of all the kinds of talent that you need to be able to hire for your companies, in terms of being able to have opportunities like the aerospace park that has come near the airport, where aerospace companies can go and get land to sort of start building large facilities, for example, or having a variety of different special economic zones here. So it's become this hub for where talent from the entire country flocks to when they need to really build something for the future. And as long as we can continue to attract that talent, more companies and more innovations will be built here, which will continue to build on top of that foundation. The first step is just get started. All of the things and the support you need in terms of whether that's being able to look at grants, whether that's being able to look at certain earlier stage investments. As long as you're doing something innovative, as long as you have built certain prototypes before, to begin is to be half done, right? So there is no dearth of advisors here. There is no dearth of support from the government or the private industries or from the various people that have sort of made it big. And a combination of all of that means that you can come here, you can meet like-minded people, you can meet ambitious people, and all that enables you to just get started. And once you get started, the momentum will sort of keep you going, and just make sure that what you're doing is something that you actually like, and that the vision is big, and the ecosystem and other things will sort of come together to help you get there.